All right. Welcome to Bourbon Quest, y'all. My name's Steve. Bourbon Steve, some might call him. That's probably, I'll take a picture later, but in front of me is the haul that I was able to acquire this week. So we're not going to drink all these tonight. We're going to focus on the smoked wagons, which I've never had any of. So we're going to talk a little bit about smoked wagon. We're going to taste those four. But it's been one of the best weeks I've had as far as number of bottles, quantity, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's start over here. These are two different, well, there's actually the same, Joseph Magnus cigar blend bourbons. Both of these are batch 52, the World Cup batch. I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans a little bit. I mentioned it the other night briefly, and now that I've been able to get two of them, I've been in contact with Nancy Fraley, and the plan is to have her come on the channel sometime in October. But we'll have more of those details as that gets closer by. And I've never had a Joseph Magnus cigar blend. And when I first got one and Nancy reached out to me, the interesting story about that is that Nancy is evidently originally from Knoxville, which I knew who she was, but I had no idea she was really from Knoxville. If I recall correctly, she told me that she graduated from Carter High School in Knoxville in 1988. Of course, I live in Knoxville, and so we immediately made that connection. And looking so excited. I mean, that's phenomenal that she even said hello to me, let alone agreed to potentially be on my channel. Hopefully she doesn't change her mind after seeing the content, and we will continue to get better. And I told her that it's like October would be great, because I think that by that time I'll have enough experience and work out some of the bugs and everything that is worthy of having Nancy on. But that's enough about that. Got another Weller Antique, so I think that's my fourth bottle of that, so glad to have those backups. I tend to like those highly allocated bottles. I have passed them up before because I want to leave some out there for the rest of you bourbon questers, and I don't want to have any more than 4 of any bottle if I can help it. May have gone to 5 or 6 on a couple of bottles of Blanton's, but I passed on Eagle Rare 2 or 3 different times because I already had 4 bottles, and that to me is plenty, because it's about sharing, not about hoarding. But I do like to have those backup bottles, because as we know, as it gets harder and harder to come by some of these, it's nice to have that option, right? So we'll come back to the smoke wagons in a minute. So that's the Weller. Also picked up an Eagle Rare because I already killed a couple, so this will be my 4th bottle that is not killed. And then I picked up an Early Times Bottled and Bond. This is one I've passed on before. Never had it. I honestly in college used to drink the old cheap Early Times, but not this gin, as I've heard from other whiskey tubers. So I know the bourbon junkies, especially Sean, this is like one of his go-tos, and I'd passed on it a couple other times because I was thinking back to those early college days with the bottom shelf Early Times, which I did enjoy. But after hearing Sean at Bourbon Junkies more than once, I was like, all right, what is it, $24, $22? I'll give it a shot. So we'll do a thing on it at some point. And then I had one Eric Church Jack Daniel's single barrel bottle, and I have tickets for November the 12th for an Eric Church concert here in Knoxville. I believe it's November the 12th, and was saving it for that date, and was fortunate enough to come across 2 different bottles this week. So I went ahead and got those, either to use in a trade for something I don't have, or drink or whatever, if I have an opportunity to get Eric Church to sign it. So I just want to kind of, I'm out there, I'm hunting, and if you're diligent and build relationships, it's attainable. It's not easy, but attainable. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside, and whether they're in frame or not. And I want to focus on Smoke Wagon, which I've never had Smoke Wagon. It was one of those that I also have held off on because it has to be something special if it's going to be sourced, but I know the bourbon community out there is in love with Smoke Wagon, and so this week I had an opportunity to come across some bottles, and I pulled the trigger. So we'll go about this in just a little bit, but so what I have here is, these are in no particular order. So this one here is Smoke Wagon Private Barrel Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Warehouse WC4 Barrel 603. You freaking wish. Aged 8 years, 60.05 alcohol by volume, so 121 proof, I guess. Beyond single barrel, the contents of this bottle are not just from one barrel, but a barrel that was handpicked for its unique taste characteristics. Once it's gone, this distinct flavor profile will never be repeated. And so that's what I guess turned me on. I kind of passed over Smoke Wagon for a while, and then was fortunate enough to come across this bottle and decided, all right, that sounds very unique and delicious, so we'll see what happens. So that's the Smoke Wagon Private Barrel, little beautiful red seal, gorgeous bottle. And these will all four of these will be brand new uncorkings tonight here on Bourbon Quest. The second one I have, and again, it's got this nice little black gold medal Smoke Wagon bourbon. This is WC Elevator Batch, I guess, or Baker, I don't know. This is bottle 1024 out of 1649, so right at 1650 bottles. 56% aged. Okay, 56% of this is 9 years. 13% of it is 6 years, 13% 7 years, and 18% 5 years. It is 57 point something percent proof, 114.41. Oh my gosh. We needed a way to experiment with blends, release outstanding single barrels, and not be confined by the price or consistent flavor profile of our core expressions. Rare and Limited was created to showcase distinguished blends and single barrels. Then some more wording and stuff on there, but this is let's just take a look at that. This is Smoke Wagon Rare and Limited. I mean, I'd never seen this, never heard of it. Both of those, actually, the private label and this, was fortunate enough to come across both of these, and that's what made me make the plunge. Now, the ones I had seen before and passed on, this is the Smoke Wagon Uncut, Unfiltered. It is 57.56% proof, so that's around 115 or so. This says date bottle June 29th, 2021, batch number 75. Not all barrels are created equal. Only the best, most elevated barrels earn the right to show off their full potential. Enjoy the bourbon in its truest form. Uncut and unfiltered, wild and untamed. That's like me. not for the faint of heart. I am wild and untamed, that's for sure. But I know this has gotten a lot of acclaim. Again, gorgeous bottle. I mean, I almost bought these a couple times just because I liked the bottle, and I was like, I'm gonna hold off. And I've heard too much good stuff about this that I couldn't give it up anymore, especially when I came across these two, unicorns potentially. I don't know, but that's the Uncut, Unfiltered Smoke Wagon. I'll turn you on the back. Bottle June 29th, 2021. If you can see that there. And then one of the more easily obtained, this is Smoke Wagon small batch. It is 100 proof, 50% alcohol, small batch straight bourbon whiskey. This small batch is not limited or special because of you wonderful bourbon drinking people. We've gone through all of the 2020 custom amber glass much faster than anticipated. Amber glass is only made a couple of times a year, so we've had to have our custom bottles made using clear glass until the 2021 amber, that's interesting, campaign began. Clear glass will be used between May and August of 2021 when the new custom amber bottles are scheduled to show up. Okay. So yeah, I mean, again, gorgeous bottle, but it's, you can see there, I don't know why they felt I need to tell that story, but it's a clear glass, shows off the color. This one is too, the rare and limited clear glass, but then the uncut, unfiltered amber glass, would not even notice that if they had not mentioned it on that one. And then same thing with the private label. So, one second, I failed to grab my infinity bottle because we got some uncorkings to do here. All right. And as I've done, I think in the other videos that we've had uncorkings, when I do those, I like to take a nice 2-ounce pour into the old affinity bottle so it can mingle with, I think we're up to like 200 different bottles in that, or close to it anyway. So let's go left to right. We're going to start off with the small batch here. Hope everyone's doing well out there in bourbon space. If you haven't had a chance yet, go check out a video that I released earlier this week called Welcome to My Bourbon Ship, where I highlighted, I think, like 440 different bottles that I've been able to acquire once I started by Bourbon Quest in March of 2020. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour a little here, small batch. Did I leave? Oh, there it is. All right. So our 2-ounce jigger, nice healthy pour. And that will go in the old infinity bottle here. I just poured my deck and I don't care. Sorry about that. The jigger's here. So we got a little more of the old small batch in there. We do have it there. So now we need a little more pour into the glass since I screwed that up. Oh, there's nothing like live TV. Well, it's recorded, but I ain't redoing it. Okay. Next up, the Uncut, Unfiltered, which has gotten a lot of acclaims from other whiskey tubers out there. And I literally passed on this like 3 or 4 times minimum. But it was time to it was time to jump on the old smoke wagon. So let's do that. Well, fresh uncorking, June 29th, 2021. And what's today? August the 19th. So this is bottled like 2 months ago. The cork pops on these first two have not been very satisfying, but let's hope the whiskey is. Again, we got the jigger. Let's see if we can do it right this time. Bourbon Steve. Once you pour it into the jigger, it goes into the infinity, not the one. Jesus. So there we go. Now, to the, got the rare and limited. I hope these live up to the hype. I really do. I'm not going to do them blind or anything. Maybe in a later episode we'll do it. I just wanted to, I've never had any of these before. Tonight's the first night and wanted to share it with you bourbon questers out there. And, you know, we're entering, if not already, we're entering allocation season where I mean, the thing is, I hunt all year long, but obviously it ramps up definitely when September rolls around as we celebrate National Bourbon Heritage Month. That's when a lot of the B-Tacs started coming out. A lot of limited editions, Four Roses, Master's Keep. You know, the list is exhausting. There we go. Well, she didn't want to let loose. All right, let's pour this. I'm gonna take a little sniff of this one. That smells good. And then the infinity pour, 2 ounces in here. All right, one more, and then we get into the fun part. Well, I mean, this is fun too. And this is the Smoke Wagon Private Barrel, barrel number 603. And this one took some work to get, but I hope it was worth it. Shout out to Anonymous You that was able to acquire this for me. Alright. I mean, that bottle is so sexy. I mean, the amber color, the embossed glass, I guess you will, this red wax seal. I mean, they definitely got the bottle game on. Let's hope the whiskey's equivalent or hopefully even better. And then our infinity pour. All right, let's do it. So I'm gonna go back left to right and see what we think. Smoke Wagon, what you got? All right, so we're gonna start off with the small batch, which that's totally attainable. Sweet amber. You know what? I take that back. Before I do that, I wanted to share with you a little just information off of the Smoke Wagon website. The story of Nevada Agency Distilling Company, Jonathan. The story? You mean our story? Oh boy, you'd have to go back to August 2004. I'd finished work just after midnight and gone to check out this joint in Eagle Rock, a bohemian section of Los Angeles. They had just been named Best New Bar by Los Angeles Magazine. Aaron says, I remember that night somebody said, hey, there's that local screenwriter. I thought he looked like a homeless guy or a serial killer. Done a few of those. Cut me some slack. I was under deadline. Serial killers are never homeless, by the way. He turned out to be an okay guy. Jonathan says, 13 years in business together and I'm an okay guy? This is what I deal with. Jonathan, I get it, bro. Aaron says, anyway, we saw eye to eye on the bar business and decided to launch something new. And the Griffin was born. Jonathan says, best decision I ever made. Aaron, yes, yeah, it definitely worked out. So after a few years of late night samplings of our inventory, Jonathan, an euphemism, if there was ever one. Aaron, we found ourselves talking a little, then a lot, about what we liked in certain bourbons and vodkas. Jonathan states, and what we didn't like. Aaron, then one night, Jonathan, okay, I hate saying their names, the light bulb blinked on. I think we both knew where the conversation was heading. Aaron, making our own juice. Jonathan, it was a bold idea, but we both said, fuck it. Aaron, hey, what's your language? See what I deal with? I get it, bro. Jonathan, tell them about where we set up shop. It was actually a no-brainer. Aaron, because we love Las Vegas. Jonathan, becoming the first distillery in the city was an adventure. Did not know that. Congratulations. I mean, what a better place to brew whiskey outside of Kentucky than Sin City. That was my ad-lib. Aaron, the Las Vegas City Council had to create a license for us since none existed. Jonathan, then things got real. Aaron, really real. Making diamonds in your sphincter because it's clenched so tight? Real. Oh, okay, that's descriptive. Jonathan, we'd never dealt with distilling equipment before, didn't know our ass from, yeah. Aaron, but getting our equipment to pass building inspection was so much fun. Then having the state law change which forced us to redo everything. Jonathan, things must have gone quicker if you hadn't insisted on ordering a proprietary silver filtration system from a country I'd never heard of. Aaron, hey now, you're giving our secret away. Jonathan, then of course we had to get our bottles and packaging together. Aaron, ugh. Jonathan, ugh is right. Due mostly to Mr. Do-It-Yourself here listening and on this designing and engineering everything himself. When there are people you can hire to do that. Aaron, there are? Yes, Jonathan says, there are, called designers and engineers. Aaron, oh yes, those people, the ones that told us we couldn't put the silver dollar dead center on the bottle or use our amber glass for our bourbon bottles. Jonathan, but I gotta admit, our bottles and packaging are pretty bitchin'. I definitely would agree with that. Aaron, well thanks partner. Jonathan, all in all process took 6 years, but fortunately, Aaron, some good actually came from all the waiting. Jonathan, during all the delays we kept laying down new bourbon distillate using our high rye content mash bill, and now it was all coming of age. Aaron, so once we were able to open, we hit the ground running. Jonathan, sprinting. Aaron, and that's how we got here. Jonathan, we have big time passion for what we're doing and are both grateful for the opportunity. We take pride in the products. I'm grateful to be here with y'all tonight. It's almost done, I promise you. Aaron, and of course we're not done yet. As the new barrels mature, we get more opportunities to experiment with new blends. Jonathan, yeah, right. He'll be experimenting with new blends tonight in the Griffin until 4 a.m. See what I have to deal with? Anyways. I mean, these guys are great. I've seen them on a couple other Whiskey Tube channels, and I'm excited to get into their whiskey here in just a moment. But one more thing, I really apologize. All right, I'm gonna try one more time, and then we'll go. There was one more thing I was really wanting to read you guys, and for some reason can't seem to find it at the moment. Alright, I'm going to try one more time. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Sorry. So also on their website, how they got started, and then if this pulls up relatively quickly, there's a story of our bottles. There we go. The story of our bottles. The raised imagery of desert sage, the Nevada state flower, can be found on the silver dollar bottle, as well as the amber smoke wagon bottles and in the label of straight bourbon. The Morgan silver dollar, replicated on the bottle's face, that beautiful thing, was minted in Carson City, the state capital. It is the perfect symbol and name for our vodka due to its Nevada significance and the fact that silver dollar vodka is silver filtered. We're not drinking vodka. Smoke wagon. Does that mean it's smoky? Smoke wagon is actually Old West slang for the 1873 Colt single action army revolver, or the gun that won the West. Our logo, stamped in wax, consists of 2 cross smoke wagons over the state of Nevada. Below is our motto and a quote from Seneca, Bibimus Morineum, whatever that is. The literal translation is drink, for we must die. We're all going to die. But the meaning is more along the lines of drink and enjoy today because we won't be around forever. We can only assume that Seneca meant to drink responsibly, of course, and I agree with that. And maybe we don't always adhere to that, but we try to. So, alright, back to what you came here. The tasting, the notes, the opinions, and if it's worthy of your dollars and your time. Again, the caramel, smoke, ethanol. I mean, it's sweet, a little bit of raisin, caramel, cranberry. Well, it's got a nice nose. I forgot what the proof is on that. I think it's 100 proof. Yeah, 100 proof. Gorgeous bottle though. Not as inviting on the palate as the nose. A little tart, some bitterness. I mean, I feel that sweet. And not getting a lot on the palate. First impression, not impressed. Maybe that's why I passed on it. Let's go in for a second taste. Grab a little water here. I mean, the nose is good. I mean, nothing mind-blowing or extravagant. I mean, sweet, caramel, raisin. I mean, I smell a little ethanol, but nothing, punching you back or anything. Let's try that palating, because the first go around was very lackluster. I mean, a lot of sweetness. There's no finish. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know. I guess I was expecting more, and did not deliver on the small batch. All right, so my initial grade on this is not worth it. Hopefully that changes, because these are the bad boys up here coming up. So let's go to the Uncut, Unfiltered. Hopefully we get something better out of this one. This is like 115 proof, right around there. I'll cleanse my palate a little bit. All right, I don't know why. I got to figure out why my camera has some type of maximum recording time. I haven't been recording that long. All right. Yeah, I'm thumbs down on the small batch, at least on the neck pour. Let's go to the Uncut Unfiltered, which I've heard great things about. I'll be the judge of that. Oh yeah, better on the nose, just more fulfilling, more caramel, very sweet. Don't actually get as much ethanol, I feel like, as far as like pure alcohol ethanol smell on that one. It's just, yeah, you can smell it, but it's more fluid, sweet caramel, no raisin in it. Some dried fruit, dried red fruit. This is very inviting on the nose, not overpowering. I'm excited to go in for the taste on this. No, that delivers. I mean, on the front of the palate, just sweet caramel richness, chocolate. Not much on the mid palate. Finish is decent. You get a little cozy hug on it. I won't say it's a great Kentucky hug, but the taste is delicious. The nose is good, caramel, chocolate. All right. Oh, that's good. It's very front forward. I don't get anything on the mid palate. I mean, I'd like a little bit longer finish and more on the back, but I mean, for what it is, the chocolate, the caramel, a little vanilla. I mean, it's like the perfect blend. It doesn't punch you in the face. It gives you a nice little cozy hug. It's delicious. I give that a thumbs up. That's good. Alright. A little water. Drink more water. Alright. This is the rare and limited. So let's see what that's all about. You definitely get floral, like a flower garden. Sweet. Oh, that the floral note is just, it's hard to get beyond it. I can't. I'm not getting anything beyond flower garden right now, which is good. I mean, this is a little bit more ethanol. What is the proof on that? But I mean, the nose on this is beautiful. It's 114, so 115, 114. All right, I'm interested in feel it because all I'm getting is flower garden. All right, let's go in for the taste. The way it lingers up, it just sits there on your tongue and your palate. Like, I don't get a hug. It's not, but good finish. Like it's still there, and you get floral potpourri. I can't get beyond that. The nose is nice. It's not off-putting. I wouldn't say it's inviting, but it's nice. want to go in for one more taste before I say anything else. All right, one more time. I mean, you definitely get the sweetness. I can't get beyond those floral notes. It's like eating a flower garden. I'm gonna say thumbs down. I was going between thumbs sideways and thumbs down. I had high hopes for this. It's not bad if you like floral and you like sweet. That might be your jam. It's not mine. I would not buy another bottle of that. Sad to say. I had high hopes for that. I was excited to acquire this bottle. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not my profile. So if you like it and you want it and you got something to trade, let me know. Because it's not bad by any means. It's just not my flavor profile or go to, and so I'm disappointed. I had high expectations of that and didn't deliver. All right, it is what it is. Make a little Coke this time. I just gotta get that fluoride in my mouth. All right, the last bottle, which is probably the hardest one to acquire, and things go out to you know who you are. But this is the Private Barrel. So we had 115, 114. This is coming in at 121. You freaking wish. Alright. Please, bottle's so gorgeous. Please deliver. Don't let me down. I'm disappointed in these two. This one's, I recommend. I'm hoping this is good. So, right now, honey, nutmeg, it's really not overpowering on the nose. I mean, it's got a nice inviting nose to it at its proof point. What would I say, 120, I believe? Yeah, 121. But honey, nutmeg, spice, you definitely get that spice. I think it's a high rye mash bill. The nose is so good on this. Oh yeah, I could nose this all day. I mean, caramel, honey, nutmeg. Those are so good on the. Please be as good or better on the palate. Here we go. Oh yeah. Honey, vanilla, nutmeg. I mean, it delivers. It's sticking around. It doesn't drink 120 proof. I don't get that burn. I don't get a whole lot of Kentucky hug. I got more of Kentucky hug on this one. More of like a little cozy hug. But well, that's delicious. It really is. That's nice. I mean, those are some unique flavors that I don't think I've experienced a whole lot anyway. That honey, so inviting, but not overpowering. Inviting. It's like, yeah, come hug me, buy me dinner, maybe sleep with me. I don't know, but this is. I mean, I will say, and I'm not a nose guy. Hopefully, I'd love to, I may send a sample to one, if we get things worked out, whatever. I'd love to send this to Nancy if she doesn't already have one, because she has the premier nose in the whiskey community, and I do not. The only nose I have is a Pinocchio nose when I lie, which I really don't lie, but I mean, we all do occasionally. But what I'm saying is my nose is, I don't think that's a strong point of mine. Nancy, by all accounts, has an amazing nose, which I cannot wait to have the cigar blends with her, whatever. But I'd be also interested in her opinion on this, because on my weak nose, this is the best nose bottle I think I can recall. Like, it's just so sweet, honey. I mean, there's some floral notes in there. There's so much complexity in that nose, but it's beautiful. And the good thing is, I mean, I'd probably rank the nose over the palate, at least on my first sip, but they complement each other. The nose is just extraordinary. Sweet honey. Oh, what am I thinking of? Oh, sweet honey bun. Got a little more hug on that one. That's like eating a honey bun in prison. Freaking delicious. Like, if you've ever gone or been to jail or whatever and eat crappy food, and then you have some commissary and get a honey bun, and like blows you away. This is like honey bun in a glass. Sweet, honey, vanilla. I mean, the nose is so phenomenal. It kind of lets you down a little bit on the palate, but, and I'm probably not saying that correctly, because the palate is good, the taste is good. It's sweet, it's inviting. It's just that the nose is so freaking extraordinary. It's hard for the taste to live up to it, because the nose in this is one of the best I've ever had on the nose. And the palate is, great. It's just that the nose is phenomenal. So you take that for what it's worth. But if you can get a bottle of this, recommend. I recommend these two. The Uncut, alright. I don't recommend the small batch. It just didn't do it for me. It's a definitely thumbs down. But I'm glad I tried it. The Uncut Unfiltered, 2 thumbs up. It's delicious. It can be a little hard to find, but I think if you're out there hunting on a semi-regular basis, you should be able to acquire one of those. This, you're probably not going to be able to acquire it, and if you do, I would say pass on it. It's not worth what they want to charge for. I think $120, something like that. So Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a thumbs down. I was thinking thumbs sideways, but based on the price, thumbs down. Go get a Bardstown Discovery Badge or something for the same price. But now all right. Here's the thing on this. This is a private barrel, so if you're able to get a private barrel of this, it's going to vary. This one is freaking delicious. It will be in contention. I mean, both of them might be, but definitely this will be in contention for bottle of the year for 2021. I'm going to actually pour just a little bit more because that honey, that spice, this bottle is delicious, and I cannot thank you enough to my ghost provider because I can't say who she is. It is a she, by the way. Oh my gosh. Sweet nutmeg, vanilla, freaking bomb. That's amazing. All right. I know the chances are low, but if you can get a lot of this, two thumbs up. Both of these 2 thumbs up. The Uncut, Unfiltered, which you should be able to obtain if you're, hunting on a semi-regular basis. This is probably going to be a hard to find, but if you get it, I want to say it's $120. I definitely pay $150. I'd probably go $175. I would not go above $175. But at least the one that I got, this is the most disappointing because I had high hopes for it. The rare and limited, and it didn't deliver on its promise. And they can keep their rare and limited because it wasn't good. Not for whatever I paid. I think right around $1 or $120. I think the small batch is $40-50. Not worth it. Go get an early times or something. So, but hey, that's what we do. Like, pass on the small batch. At least in the one I have, pass on the rare and limited. But if you're not budget conscious and you have money to spend, and you come across this bottle and never had one, I mean, 120 bucks isn't nothing. You go buy it, and like I did, and hopefully the one you get delivers. The one I got did not deliver. It was a waste of my money, but that's part of the quest. That's part of the bourbon quest, is to get them, acquire them, taste them, and love them or dismiss them. So I'm going to love Uncut, Unfiltered. I'm going to love the private barrel. I'm going to dismiss small batch and rare and fine, because they're fine to me. You know what I'm saying? But they both may end up there, but out of these, yeah, the private barrel. Thank you, you red-headed goddess, for getting me this bottle. And then the Uncut, Unfiltered is, at least right now, top 10 till some more allocated stuff comes around. I would pass I would take a pass on the small bass. I would take it at least on the one I mean, if you've never had one or something, and you get the rare and fine or whatever the hell they want to call it. I mean, that's what I did. It just was very disappointing. But you gotta take that chance. You gotta take that leap of faith. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but that's part of the game. But I will tell you this, Bourbon Questers, these two are hitters. Heavy hitters. Alright? Well, it's an early evening for me. I want to thank you for joining in. I'm probably going to sign out for the moment. And who knows, I'm going to be back tomorrow. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like or subscribe, like, follow, you know, whatever. Yeah, do that. We got more great content coming, and especially around Eric Church. I'm going to see Eric Church in November. I'm also single, so any women that like whiskey and want to date and see Eric Church, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm going out after this. So good. Alright, good night, Bourbon Questers. May your quest find your destiny.